Yo, how's it going? I'm going to quickly say this because I don't want to waste your time, but I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers for 2023 and we're currently at like 188 subscribers, so if you want to consider subscribing. Anyways, back to the video. Yo, how's it going? I think we all know who Nickacado Avocado is. He's basically, a meme god. He's a mukbang king, and if you haven't heard about him, you obviously have. You just need to see a picture of him to recognize him. So here you go. This is, the infamous, the famous Nickacado Avocado. You're probably thinking, Ezzy, why do you think a man who's famous for pooping himself is sound? And by the time you finish this video, you'll think he's sound as well, because I just have so many reasons why I think he's actually, pretty chill now. But since the gameplay is about to start, I'm just going to say my Wi-Fi has just been really trash lately because I got the laptop. So it's only, a couple of days to settle. So expect some glitchiness from this gameplay. And I mean, there's a lot of glitchiness. Anyways, let's start this off with how and why I think Nick is pretty sound now.
Oh hey, I just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
So basically, Oompaville is, a very big YouTuber, and he made like tons and tons of Nickacado Avocado videos. Like, I mean, absolutely just milked him dry. And then, we decided like around a month ago, maybe 2 months, it depends how long it took, to make the video. He invited Nickacado Avocado to his house, and they basically just messed around, showed his character, but then he decided to have an interview with him. And this, interview basically made Nick break character. I know he doesn't like people saying he broke character, but I don't really know else how to describe it. Oh, look, he's kind of, went kind of normal. I don't know, it's better just to say broke character. He actually like really opened up on the interview, and he actually seemed pretty chill on it. But then this little interview led them, to create a podcast together. And this podcast is really something. It's the podcast. It's, the podcast of 2022. Like, I mean, it's the podcast. We'll talk about the podcast in a minute. I just want to keep on talking about, the Oompaville part. On this interview, Nick opened about like how some videos affected him, basically gave his opinion and his thoughts on some videos. Like the whole Corey Kenshin thing. He was talking about how his fans just randomly started attacking him for no reason, going like, oh, leave Corey alone, leave Corey alone. And then he went to talk about, Meat Canyon's animation actually kind of like hurted him a little bit, etc, stuff like that. If you don't know who Meat Canyon is, he's basically this famous YouTuber. I wouldn't really say famous, but like he has a large subscriber base, and like actually pretty much a lot of people know about him. But basically he does these like creepy, gory, I'd say gross animations on stuff. Like sometimes when I watch his animation, I'm like, how the hell is this on YouTube? Because it's just like so out of pocket and so weird. Like the dream one, I don't even want to talk about the dream one. You just gotta watch it yourself. And then the Andrew Tate one, they just make you think, how the hell is this on YouTube? If you're wondering why I'm talking about Meat Canyon so much, you'll see later, he actually ties back into the whole Nickacado Avocado universe. Anyways, Oompa and Nick carried on making videos together, not a lot, but quite a bunch. And honestly, they're actually such a good duo. If you look at them, you'll think they've been talking it for years and decades, but they've honestly only known each other for a month and they're already that friendly. It's honestly, they're such a good duo. Anyways, onto the podcast.
My wife's name at your fucking
for me, boy. Yeah.
So Nick and Oompaville made a podcast together called the Dumpster Fire Podcast, or D-Fire Podcast for short. Like the name insists, it was basically a dumpster fire. First episode, they had nothing ready. They already bought these random chairs off someone, and they were already breaking, and they were too slippery for Nickacado Avocado, kept on slipping out of his chair, and they basically had nothing ready. Even though it was, a total dumpster fire, it was still very enjoyable to watch. Nick stayed out of his character, nearly the entire thing. The only times he would break back into character is if he was about to, shit himself, or if he got angry. You're probably thinking, what did both of them talk about on this podcast? And I'll explain what they talked. They talked about the whole Kanye West thing. They talked about, all the stuff that made, Nick angry and all that stuff. How it was being in Texas, especially in the second episode. I told myself I was going to bring this up. I'm just going to say because, you kind of need to know what they're talking about. But they basically talked about the whole, H3 podcast and why I didn't go on it. And I honestly felt bad for the guy. And he made some fair points on why he didn't go. And no, I actually kind of agree with him. If I was in his position, I wouldn't have went on it as well. He even went on to talk about how Nick bought a bed designed for fat people. and he broke it by jumping on it or something. He didn't even jump on it, he just like went on top of it, and one of the legs just completely broke, and he got the legs reinforced for free. The thing that he talked about that actually stuck to me is the reason why he knows that even if he started, going to the gym and all that stuff, doing what people is telling him to do, like turning into a fitness thing, he knows that people won't care, because people honestly don't care about him. They just want to see him actually do something, and they'll get bored about it in a week. If they see him go to the gym, they're like, oh yeah, good boy, Nickacado Avocado, but then they'll instantly forget about him, because his whole character is basically just being fat. And that the people who's telling him to get fit, be healthy and all that stuff won't even care about him after a week of him being healthy. I left quite a few stuff out of there because you actually need to watch the podcast to actually get the thing, because the podcast is really good. All of that was just in the first episode, and they only have 2 episodes. The second episode was more about how he lived in this, Airbnb for like a day. It was absolutely disgusting, like bugs everywhere, PUBES just everywhere. They didn't even bother cleaning in his room. The thing that hurt me the most though is he started giving out about the Wi-Fi, and he showed a picture of the Wi-Fi, and it was basically like the Wi-Fi I own, like same size, basically same built. It was basically just my Wi-Fi but slightly bigger. That's not all what they talked about on the second episode. They talked about how H3 applied to the first episode, about the whole H3 podcast thing. Nick got like really fired up about the whole situation, and they actually gave some pretty fair points. Like, Ethan gives out about like, how he doesn't respect himself. Nick doesn't respect himself because he wears like a slightly small t-shirt for him. Well, not slightly small, but still. And talks about how he looks like unprofessional. While Nick says that Ethan Klein looks unprofessional, because have you seen his haircut? Like, he's allowed to go around with like all these pink parts in his hair, but Nick can't even wear a red t-shirt from Walmart. Anyways, I don't want to spoil the rest of the podcast because it's actually really interesting and all, and I just recommend you to watch it because it's like just really good. I'll probably try to link it down in the description, but if I get, just remember D-Fire Podcast. Anyways, into the final title, because I only started these titles because I had to quit making the video, and that whole first title was just so you didn't recognize my voice change. Now I'm stuck doing these stupid titles. Anyways, on to the last title.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man. Like,
see, this is where Meat Canyon comes back, because on Nickacado Avocado's third channel, Nickacado Avocado 3, him, Oompaville, and Meat Canyon made a mukbang together. I watched half of it because I didn't really want to watch, them eating McDonald's, because honestly, I don't really like McDonald's, even though I still eat it, on those rare occasions. But still, I thought they were going to absolutely kill each other. I thought Meat Canyon and Nickacado Avocado was going to have a fight. But to my shock, they actually looked like they were decent mates. They're being all friendly to each other and all, and joking around. So that literally shows that Nick can take a joke, even if it actually hurts his feelings. He can still take a joke. Probably wondering how I know that they're best of buddies now, and this is why. They did the most bro-ship thing ever. They fed each other with a big fork. Well, to be honest, Meat Canyon fed Nickacado Avocado with a big fork. He just stabbed a Big Mac and fed it to him. But still, they did the secret bro-ship ritual that showed that they're best of buddies. It's more secure than a handshake or a dab me up. Oh yeah, and Oompaville fed, Nickacado Avocado with like a very long fork. Like, I mean long. It was like probably like 60 centimeters long. But still, that shows they're the best of buddies. In conclusion, because I probably wasted a lot of your time, Nick Avocado is really sound because he's able to get along with people who's made fun of him. Like Oompaville made tons of fun of him, basically milked him dry, and they're still best buddies, and he doesn't feel any ill intent against Meat Canyon. And you honestly feel sad for the guy sometimes because of how people portray him as this mean ogre and all. Anyways, while making the second half of this video, since I let to go ice skating all day, I just gotta say, we're at 194 subscribers, and we're only 6 away from hitting 200. And honestly, if we hit 200 before 2023, that's gonna be amazing. That's like 200 subscribers in 9 months. I only started this channel 9 months ago, and we're already at 194. That's amazing. And if we hit 200 before 2023, I'll do a 6-hour live stream of playing Doom Eternal on the hardest difficulty. And I already pretty much suck at the game. So anyways, if you feel like it, consider subscribing. Anyways, bye bye and see ya.